Hey guys, today we're gonna learn how to use Mixamo. Mixamo is a website that can be used to get animations and characters. So you just choose a character, choose an animation, and then you can put it into Blender and make a big animation with it. Mixamo is made by Adobe and it's also free. So first step is to look up Mixamo and then make an account for it. Mixamo is spelled Mixamo, and once you've signed up, click on characters in the top and then choose a character. I might choose a mannequin. And then it says this character will not be saved. You can just click it's okay, continue. So now you have a mannequin, but he's only in a T pose. And we want him to do a dance. So I'm going to click on the animations tab and I'm going to look up dance. And now we have a lot of dances that we can choose from. I might choose house dancing. Actually, I might choose hip-hop dancing. This one is kind of long, so you can either make it longer to 1035 frames, or you could make it shorter. To 230. Okay, I think I'm going to go to maybe about 10 the value so that it's not too much to render. And think that should be good. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then you just click download. So you set the frames per second to 24 with skin. Keyframe reduction none, and then you just hit download, and then you have a animation. Hey guys, so now that we're in Blender, we're just going to press X and click to delete the default cube, and if you don't only have the default cube, just press A and X and click the delete button. So now how we get the Mixamo character is we do File, Import, FBX, and then I'm just going to choose my character. So I've chosen where my file was. Now my dancer is imported into Blender. And you can just play the animation and it'll work because it's all mocap data. I'm just gonna set the end frame to the end frame of the animation, which is about here. Now we have a guy dancing. And then if we go into rendered view and you set it to cycles with GPU compute, we can see the guy dancing. I'm gonna press Shift A, click on light and sunlight, and then press G to move it around and R to tilt it in whichever direction you want. I might put it like about there. And then it restarts. So now I'm just gonna make a quick basic scene that is not, and this Mixamo is not very intensive on your computer, so you can do like a render in cycles and also Eevee, but it won't look as good if you have like a advanced character. But in cycles, I'm just gonna press Shift A, add a plane, and scale it by 5. And now we have a backdrop, but it just doesn't go into the distance. So I'm gonna press Tab to go into edit mode, where you can edit the object and stuff. So I'm gonna press 2 on my keyboard, and I'm gonna press here, and I'm gonna hold Shift and then click here, keep holding Shift and then click here to click the edges, and then press EZ to extrude, and press 5 on your keyboard so that he extrudes by 5. And then I'm just going to click on it and then hold Shift and click on these edges inside of the box, and I'm going to press Control B for bevel, and then I'm going to add segments by scrolling my mouse wheel up. And if you don't want segments, you can scroll your mouse wheel down, but if you accidentally scrolled it up, this should be a bevel tab if you don't click off it, and you can change the settings. I might set mine to 25, I think. And then I might set the width to something really big, so it's just really close to the guy. And then if you don't know how to move around, it's middle mouse click, hold it, and you can move around. So that's basically it. But now we have to add a camera. And also, I don't like this shadow that's coming down onto this guy, so I'm gonna hold Alt and click on the top rim of this thing while I have this one selected, the edge select. Edge select has to be selected. So then you press Alt click or Option click, and then you can press GZ or GZ down. I might do extrude and scale. With extrude scale, you just press E and then S. You don't like move it. So you don't like click off of it. It's just ES. Okay, now I actually want to tab out. I might delete this sunlight, and now you can see it's dark. But then I'll press Shift A and add a under light and area light, because area lights will like make it look like studio lighting. So I'm just gonna do that. And that and I press Shift D to duplicate and G to move around and RR to rotate. I might press Shift D again to move the light above his head. So now we have a nice little lighting setup. And now you could either do some fun stuff with the guy, like you could make him like have lots of hair on him like that, and then you can just set the length down, and then you'd have like a dancing guy with hair like this, a spiky guy. So like you could do lots of stuff with this. You could even add it into an animation, like add some speakers and all that. And also click on your backdrop area, click right click and shade smooth, and it'll make it look smooth unless there's not enough vertices. If it's like not high enough quality around this edge, it might not look very good. So we're just gonna press Alt or Option click, and then we're gonna press Control B, and then you can see that when we tab out, we have a nice background. Okay, so now it's time for rendering. So first of all, by default it would be set in Eevee. So you can use Eevee if you want, it'll be quicker. But because I have a decent GPU, I'm going to click on Cycles, and I'm going to set my device to GPU Compute. And I'm going to set my max samples to something like 256. And under my denoise, I'm going to set my denoiser to optics. And if your GPU isn't showing up, if it's grayed out GPU Compute, you might have to go, and you have a GPU, you might have to go and edit preferences, and then in system, you have to make sure that under optics and CUDA, if it's NVIDIA, your GPU is ticked. And HIP is AMD, I think, and one API is Intel, I think. Yep. See, if you have NVIDIA, it's CUDA and optics that your GPU has to be enabled with. If you're on HIP, you have to have AMD, and one API is Intel. So I have the 3070, so I'm going to choose optics. And then I just click the hamburger icon and save preferences. You can close the window now. And now I have this guy dancing. I'm just going to make sure he doesn't touch the ground, like go underneath the ground. Ooh, the start seemed like, oh wait, no, he's fine. Yep, so now that's all good. We're going to switch to rendered viewport shading up here, that's what it's called. You just click it, now you're in rendered view, and you press Shift A to add a camera, but you can see it's not where you want it to be. I'm just gonna go to maybe here, and then if you have a numpad, you can do Control Alt numberpad 0, but if you don't have a numberpad, you can click on Select, Object, View, and under Camera, set Active Object as Camera, Control numpad 0, it's that one, and then we have a camera, but you can see it's too close, so we're gonna get a nice view. View, which one? Cameras. Set active object as camera. Why is it glitching? Oh, it's align view. Align active camera to view. Yep, that's the one. align active camera to view is in align view, align active camera to view. And if it's too close, I'm just going to press GZZ and it will look like that. But I kind of want it like flat on the ground perspective, like in a theater where the guys are on the stage. So then I'm going to press view, align active camera to view, then press GZZ to move it back. And then I'm just going to play the animation to make sure the cameras can see the guy the whole time. I'm gonna keep zooming out so that we can see the guy the whole time. Maybe I'm gonna press GX to move it a bit this way. Yep, I think that looks quite nice. And you can animate the camera if you want, but I might not today because I kind of like it how it is. So after you've got all your settings, cycles, GPU, compute, or you can use Eevee if you only have a CPU. You can set your max samples to 256 and then denoise. So I'm just gonna click F12, and if you don't have that, you can go render image, or render animation. If you want to render animation, it's Control F12, but I just need to render an image, so F12 to see how long it takes. Okay, so this is going to take about 11.49 seconds per frame, and I think that's not bad because our animation is only 233 frames. So I'm just going to go into the output properties over here. I'm going to choose an output folder, but before that I'm going to set my file format to FFmpeg video, and underneath encoding set the container to MPEG-4, and then that should be good. Now just choose where you want to save it. I'm just going to save it to my render folder, and then we can do it. Okay, I just saved it to my folder, and now I think we can begin the render. But before that, there's a way to make it faster when you render the animation. Underneath the performance tab in render properties, underneath performance, tick persistent data. That'll make sure like it won't have to load all the scene, like the character and all that, so it'll make it a bit faster. And also you could, if you want, set your samples to 4096, and then on the noise threshold, maybe it's like 0.01, make sure it renders like every single sample, but if you do like 0.05, it won't render every single one. See, it only goes up to, see, it's 4 seconds and it looks pretty good still. You can make it even, but this lowers the quality, so I might set the noise threshold to 0.1, render it. That looks too low because you're getting some like low quality stuff down here. So I'm just gonna close it, set that to maybe 0.05, and look at that, our render time's only 3 seconds per frame, probably about that. So I think now would be a good time to render it. So I'm just going to press Control F12, and as you can see, the render started. Thanks guys for watching, and bye!